just hit that on button right there.
On.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm
now,
on.
Now
It's
you're
me.
on,
Hi.
and we're gonna be on Facebook Live too. So that's pretty awesome.
Is that what this camera?
Yeah,
is?
that's what that camera is.
So you got
it
one set up. So this is great.
And producer Shannon does a split screen that goes out over Facebook Live as a split screen. So that's pretty good.
Goodness.
Yeah, he's the best.
I'm loving it.
All right,
Hello, Facebook Live.
That's right. I want to just tell you this story that I just read, just in case you got a reaction.
I want to hear it.
Yeah. So 20,667 drunk driving convictions in New Jersey are probably going to be thrown out because a police sergeant there falsified calibration records on the breathalyzers. And I'm thinking there's like 20,000 people going to go have a drink to celebrate.
You mean yes? Yeah, well, hopefully, unless they got some help. So he calibrated it so it would show that they were more drunk than they actually were?
Or I think what he said was that he tested them when he actually didn't. But that would be even better.
Oh.
Your idea would be even better.
I feel like this is a problem. People, no, you can't count on the police. The police are not supposed to lie.
I know. That is. That's a problem. And it's one guy who did all of this, and these machines were used in 5 of New Jersey's 21 counties. So almost 21,000 drunk driving convictions going to be tossed.
Why don't we all have cars? I mean, I'm just throwing this out there, and I'm sure there's an answer, and I don't want to fight anybody, but why don't we all have cars that you just have to blow into a thing before you can start the car?
That does exist, you know.
I know. They give it to people who get DUIs.
Yeah.
They go, look, you have to have this.
Yeah.
Why don't we all have that?
You ever had one?
Had what?
One of those things?
A DUI?
Yeah.
No, I haven't ever had that.
Just checking.
Well, because I'm a comedian on the road, so I do a lot of my. When I'm at home, I'm not doing a lot. I'm looking at you, and I'm also looking right into the Facebook Live. It's a little scary. I don't know which robot.
How's it look, Shannon? Do we look good?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, good. I don't know if I did my hair right.
Yeah,
today.
same.
So, I'm on the road, so I'll do the show. I'll have a couple drinks after the show, and then someone will drive me back, or I just walk back to the place I'm staying.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of DUI opportunities or risk moments. You know, like people who live in a place and you got to drive if you want to go out to a bar or something. So no, I'm lucky that I was never in a position where I had to make that choice as many times as a lot of people have to make that choice nowadays. Though with Uber and Lyft, and I don't know, do you have the scooters here? Oh my God!
In Denver, they do.
Oh my God!
I don't know about drunk driving a scooter though.
I think you can get a DUI, not a DUI, not against your driver's license, but I think they can write you up for scootering.
I bet.
Scootering
and they
hammered.
At least here, and I guess it kind of makes sense, but in Denver, they have to drive on the sidewalk. It's illegal to drive them in the street. So
we're the opposite in Santa Monica. We had to put the scooters into the street because the sidewalk was a problem. They were knocking people down, and it's like you got to be in the street and you got to wear a helmet. And then that lets out, like, the only people who are riding scooters in the street at night are drunk people because no sober person would make that choice. It's too much. But I'm surprised more people. You got to be reflectorized anyway.
Yeah.
You got the scooters, you got the Ubers, you got the Lyfts. Don't go out driving.
And
your car.
you know what? One day I think autonomous vehicles are going to mostly take care of this problem anyway. Right? Self-driving cars. It'll be like an Uber without a driver, basically.
You're going to buy a car.
Yeah.
You're going to buy your car, and it's going to be like you're running it you're driving Lyft, except you're not driving it. It's a self-driving car. It's your car, but when instead of sitting in your driveway, it's going to be out working for you.
Yeah, that's going to be pretll cool.
But those cars are going to get free health care because that's going to be included as all the. Now you get a car. The car includes free service, but we don't have health care. This is all going to be over soon. We're going to be robots, and then you'll just push a button, you'll be drunk. Then you push a button, you'll be sober on your robot self. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
I saw a story the other day. I actually talked about it on the show yesterday or the day before. There was a study that came out of England talking about potential future developments with autonomous vehicles. And one is people are going to be having a lot of sex in autonomous vehicles. And maybe even, prostitution instead of the no-tell motel going around in autonomous vehicles, which I totally get it, but I sure wouldn't want to be the person in the car right after that.
Me neither. Well, have you ever had sex in a car?
Not as far as you know.
I did. Well, okay. All right, if that's how you're going to be. Look, what kind of a radio show is this where the host won't even admit to having had sex in a car? It could be with your current wife or your first ex-wife.
Yeah, fooling around in high school or college.
I've had sex in a car, and it's not optimal. It's not on my list of places where I'd like to have sex. Edge of the Grand Canyon, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
But a car is not the greatest place to have sex. But so I feel like maybe we need some better options for people to have sex besides cars. And also, now that we're into prostitution, I think we need to find a way to make prostitution safe for the prostitutes, so that women are making that as a choice, or men or guys if they're being prostituted. We got to stop. We got bigger fish to fry. Right?
I'm with you. Hey, did you see? Like one of the biggest, brothel owners, this guy, Dennis Hoff, H-O-F. You hear this story?
I heard that he ran. Is he dead?
He's dead.
He's dead, and he won.
Yeah.
And he got elected.
He's running for, I don't know, county commission or city council or something, and he won. I don't know what happens next, but that's a popular dude right there.
It hurts your feet. Boy, talk about Hillary Clinton's got enough on her plate to deal with emotionally, but a guy who used to run a whorehouse got elected to office. And you lost to
after
a reality
he died.
TV show host.
Yeah, after he died, he got elected to office. It's amazing. Jake Johannsen is playing at Comedy Works South at the Landmark. Is today Thursday? Yeah. So that'd be tonight at 7:30 and Friday and Saturday 7:15 and 9:45. I read that you studied veterinary medicine and chemical engineering.
Well, okay, look. I went to Iowa State University of Science and Technology because they had a vet school. And I wanted to be a veterinarian. But when you first start college, you're not studying veterinary medicine. You're just taking general math and science and that kind of stuff. And so I switched off of pre-vet, and went into chemical engineering. So I was a chemie major for probably 2 years. So then I did study chemistry and physics and math and all that stuff. But I wasn't, I didn't get down to the end of. We went to a place where chemical engineers work, which is basically, at that time, it was an oil refinery and a cereal factory where they make breakfast cereal, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
So when you started doing, did you start in college?
Well, I did. I was in a play in college. That's where the spiral started, the spiral of bad decisions that turned out to be good decisions. I was in a play in college, David Mamet play called Sexual Perversity in Chicago, and the other guy in the play was a comedian from Chicago, and he was on his way through Iowa he was in Iowa for a year or two, but he was on his way to San Francisco to do stand-up because that's where he wanted to go, because that's where Robin Williams started out. And I wouldn't say he talked me into it, but I was in a moment in my life where that sounded like a good idea. I was on the meet. I want to do that too. So I went with him.
Did you know you were funny, or did you just think, I want to try?
Okay, well, this is a good question because people ask this all the time. How do you know that you're funny? Like if you're listening to this or watching this on Facebook Live, and you're thinking, hey, how do you know you're funny? I want to try that, but how do I know I'm funny and I could do it? Or if you want to be a singer or an actor, how do I know that I'm a good enough actor or a good enough singer? It's like you don't know that. You can't know that. All you can know is how much you want to do that. And if you want to do it, that's all you need. You want to do it. You figure out how to do it. You get some training. Either you take classes or you read books, or in stand-up, you can just sign up for an open mic and go on stage and try. So I didn't know I was funny. I didn't know I was funny enough to do it. There was no guarantee. It was a risk. I knew I wanted to try it, and I went out and I signed up and I tried it. And that's the whole secret. That's what separates you, person who's thinking about it, from the people who you would like to be, the people who are doing it, is all they did was try it. You just got to try it.
Do you remember anything about the first time you did comedy in front of an audience?
Yes. I was so nervous that I could hardly talk. It was not good. And I could have quit right after that. But I felt like, look, people can't even decide if I'm funny or not because I'm so nervous that they're more concerned. They're not thinking about, is this a funny joke? They're thinking, like, is he going to cry? Is he okay? My voice was shaky, and I was super, super stage fright.
So, at the risk of treating you like a trained SEAL or something, let's be funny for a bit here, since that is what you do.
That's a lot of pressure.
I know. I want
This is what happens. You know, when this was just a radio show, this was not going on. But now that you're on Facebook Live, you think you can put people on the spot.
Yeah, that's right. This. I feel like I can toss a fish and maybe you'll tell a joke. No, but for people who haven't seen you, even though you were on David Letterman like 700 times and all kinds of stuff, I want people to know what they're going to see when they buy tickets to go to Jake Johannsen.
Well, first of all, you're not going to see me on a crappy Facebook Live camera in a room with a microphone and a desk and just one other guy. You're going to see me it's a nightclub. It's dark. There's a lot of people sitting in a room. I mean, not to patronize you, the listener, but maybe you've never been to a comedy club. It's a live show, and so it's very different than when you're watching comedy on TV, which you can do. So if you want to know if you want to come see me, don't judge by this. Go online and you can Google Jake. Yeah. You can just Google Jake comedian, and I'll come up, and you can see some Letterman appearances. So that's much more similar to what you're going to do. But because you asked, since you asked, and you're nice, I will do. Here's one of my. Okay. I'm originally from Iowa, which you know, and now I live in California, and I don't get back to Iowa that often because it took me a long time to realize that we were free to go, and see, so that's a joke. That joke is now celebrating its 35th year in show business.
Wow,
yeah, it still works great to people who haven't heard it, like you.
Right.
But you didn't belly laugh and guffaw. You just kind of
keep going. I'm waiting
a little bit. Well, no. See.
Oh, it's just one joke at a time. It's an a la carte joke thing.
Well, it's different when you're doing it on the radio. It's not like you can't just. This is like having a kid who plays the violin. You can't just go let's clear the dishes off the dinner table, and you get up on the table and play the violin. It's like, no, you rent Carnegie Hall and get a bunch of people to show up, and then I'm going to go up and nail it. Because what happens is people will watch on the radio and they'll go, well, he was okay, but he wasn't, did that Iowa joke, and that was all right, But I don't know about this decision.
My listeners love Comedy Works, and lots of my listeners have been to lots of shows, and I bet lots of my listeners will buy tickets to you.
I'm just taking your word for it that we're even doing a radio show.
Shannon, are we on right now? At least, we're at least on Facebook, so we got at least a couple dozen. At least a couple dozen people watching us right now.
You went for a credibility check with him, and he was like, "Well, I can't promise the radio thing is on, but the Facebook is working."
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. All right, so what else is going on in your life? And we got about 90 seconds, by the way. But
90
California,
seconds.
yeah.
Okay.
You got wife, kids. What's your story?
I got a wife. She's great, and I have a daughter. So that's
how old's your daughter?
She's 14 years old.
Okay. Mine's almost 13.
It's been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
This daughter thing.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. I feel like for me, it's easier for me. That mother-daughter relationship is complicated,
For sure.
I've come home. You don't get to witness these female-female relationships as a man because they're elusive in the wild. But then you get married and you have a daughter and you have a chance to come home and witness. You get to see your wife and daughter having an argument where you cannot tell who is 14 years old. And I know it's female relationship that I'm seeing because my daughter will leave the room and my wife then will confide in me like, can you believe she said this and then she did that and then she said this? And I'm like, yeah, well, that's the type of crap that I've been trying to talk to you about.
You're living my life, dude.
See, not only that, those were jokes from the show, but you didn't know it, so you didn't laugh as hard as you wanted.
I did know. I did. I knew. But I'm a pro.
But those are also true things about my show. I'm reporting from the field about what's going on with me. And yes.
And I mean, you do a lot of that comedy, just like observational, real world stuff we can all relate to. And that's why I want you all to go see Jake tonight, tomorrow, or Saturday, 7:30 tonight, 7:15 and 9:45, Friday and Saturday. You can get tickets at comedyworks.com. And thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. And you can visit my website, jakethis.com, and you can link to Comedy Works. You can watch videos, go on the internet, see what you like.
And I've tweeted you out as well, tagged you on the tweet just now, and we will tag you on Facebook when we get the whole Facebook Live thing going.
I'm going to retweet your tag.
There you go.
And double assert myself on the presence of your social media.
There we go.
I think
I'll be right back on the Ross Kaminsky Show.
This report is sponsored by Account Temps.
Jam-packed highways, tough drive this morning. Some new problems. Nissan Intelligent Mobility can reroute you around any of the backups. I-25 struggling downtown both directions. 2 separate accidents, one on each side of the highway. I-25 near 38th Park Avenue, lanes are blocked. Stop and go traffic there. Had a big accident westbound I-70 out near Sheridan. Looks like all lanes are opening. Boulder Turnpike, that car fire. Eastbound 36 at Sheridan. Now in the shoulder, still have some real slow traffic. And out west, a new crash. Westbound C470 approaching I-70. Dinner's forecast, it's going to be sunny, a little breezy today with high near 57. Overnight, low of 32. Right now, 42 degrees. With the traffic and weather, I'm Susan Phelan, 630 KHOW.
When you could use help closing your books and need a